My dear friends, when we look around, we see that women have always been the quiet architects of strength. Not the strength that shouts or dominates, but the strength that nurtures, sustains, and heals. History has celebrated kings and warriors, but behind every victory, there has been a woman's courage, the patience and love. The eternal strength of women is not measured in muscles, but in resilience, compassion, and the power to transform challenges into opportunities. There is a unique power in nurturing, a power that is so often underestimated because it does not look loud or aggressive. It is the strength of patience, of care, of consistency, of being able to put someone else's needs before one's own. A woman embodies this kind of strength in every stage of her life. From the time she holds a newborn in her arms, sleepless yet smiling, she reveals to the world that nurturing is not weakness. It is endurance of the highest kind. When a mother spends endless nights rocking her child to sleep, sacrificing her own rest, she is silently teaching us that true strength is not always found in lifting heavy weights, but in carrying heavy responsibilities with grace. We often celebrate warriors who fight on the battlefield, but forget the warrior who fights quietly at home, fighting against exhaustion, against limitations, against her own struggles, just so her family feels cared for and loved. A woman's nurturing strength is like a river. A river does not boast of its power, but because of it, civilizations thrive. In the same way, when a woman nurtures, she creates the foundation upon which others can build their lives. Her patience allows children to grow with confidence. Her love allows a husband to work with focus. Her guidance allows a community to flourish. She may never announce her sacrifices, but the results of her nurturing are seen in the strength of those around her. Think of the countless women who have shaped the course of history, not by standing on podiums, but by shaping the hearts and values of those who did. Behind every great leader is a mother, a sister, a teacher or a friend who nurtured his or her potential with encouragement and faith. Many of the greatest thinkers, scientists, and reformers have openly admitted that it was a woman's strength in nurturing that gave them the courage to believe in themselves. Nurturing, therefore, is not just an act of kindness, but an act of building futures. What makes this strength eternal is that it does not fade with time. A child may grow old, but to a mother, that child will always be someone to care for. Even in her later years, a woman continues to nurture, perhaps not through sleepless nights, but through wisdom, through listening, through prayers whispered quietly for the well-being of others. Her nurturing extends beyond blood relations. She nurtures friendships, communities, and even strangers. A woman notices the pain in someone's eyes that others might miss, and she extends her hand, her words, or her smile in a way that gives comfort. That is her strength. And yet, let us remember, nurturing is not easy. It requires sacrifice, patience, and resilience. It is not about giving when it is convenient, but giving even when one is tired. even when one is unappreciated, even when one feels drained. This is why the nurturing strength of women is eternal, because it continues to flow regardless of obstacles, like a river that never stops until it meets the ocean. It teaches us that the highest form of strength is not in demanding power, but in empowering others. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness, as if words alone carry the weight of courage. But those who have witnessed the strength of a woman's silence know that it is not emptiness, but depth. When a woman chooses silence, it is not because she cannot speak, but because she knows the power of restraint, the dignity of patience, and the wisdom of timing. There is a strength in silence that shields families, protects relationships, and preserves dignity in ways that loud voices could never achieve. A woman carries storms in her heart that she may never express fully. She endures pain quietly, not because she lacks the ability to fight back, but because she knows that battles are not always won with noise. Sometimes, in there, the greatest victories come from waiting, from observing, from allowing truth to reveal itself over time. Her silence is not submission, it is strategy. It is her way of protecting peace in the home, of shielding her children from unnecessary chaos, of choosing harmony over ego. It takes far greater strength to hold words back than to hurl them recklessly. And this is where a woman's silent strength shines. Consider the mother who absorbs her own exhaustion without complaint, because she knows her children deserve joy and stability. Consider the wife who chooses not to escalate an argument, because she values love over pride. Consider the sister who holds back her pain to keep the family united. These silences are not signs of fragility, they are choices made from an inner reservoir of strength. Each time a woman chooses silence, where anger would have been easier, she is teaching the world that peace is more powerful than conflict. History is filled with women whose silence changed the world. There are countless examples of women who endured oppression, criticism, or ridicule, yet responded not with bitterness, but with quiet perseverance that eventually transformed societies. Their silence was not an absence of voice, it was an enduring presence of strength that could not be broken by words or actions of others. When others doubted them, their silence became resilience. When others insulted them, their silence became dignity. When others underestimated them, their silence became their shield. Silence also allows a woman to listen, to feel, to understand in ways that words often fail. In her quiet moments, she discerns what others miss. She notices the pain behind someone's smile, the struggle hidden beneath confidence, the cry for help that is never spoken. Her silence allows her to connect deeply with people, offering comfort not always through speech but through presence. Sometimes the warm touch of her hand, the calmness in her eyes, or the simple act of being there says more than 1,000 words could ever express. But silence should never be mistaken for helplessness. When the time comes to speak, a woman who has mastered the power of silence speaks with such clarity, wisdom, and force that her words carry unmatched weight. People listen because they know her silence was not born of fear, but of strength. When she finally chooses words, they come from a place of deep conviction, and they transform hearts. The strength in a woman's silence is eternal because it continues to shape families, relationships, and societies. It reminds us that power is not always in being heard, but in knowing when to speak and when to wait. It shows us that silence, when embraced with wisdom, is not emptiness. It is a profound strength that gives birth to peace, dignity, and inner victory. Compassion is often mistaken as softness, yet in truth, it is one of the strongest forces in the world. A woman's compassion is not simply about feeling sympathy for others, but about extending love and care even when it comes at a personal cost. Her strength lies in her ability to see beyond someone's mistakes and struggles, to recognize the human heart beneath the layers of flaws. This compassion does not make her vulnerable, it makes her powerful because it allows her to heal, to unite, and to inspire transformation where harshness could never succeed. From the moment she becomes aware of the world, a woman begins to exercise compassion almost naturally. As a daughter, she is quick to comfort her parents in times of stress, offering gestures of reassurance far beyond her age. As a sister, she often becomes the peacemaker, softening tensions between siblings with her kindness. As a mother, her compassion knows no bounds. She feels her child's pain more deeply than her own, and her heart aches with every wound or tear her child experiences. This ability to carry the emotions of others without being asked reflects the true depth of her strength. Compassion also gives her the resilience to forgive. Forgiveness is not easy. It demands inner strength far greater than revenge. When a woman forgives, she is not excusing the wrong, but choosing to free herself from the burden of bitterness. Her compassion allows her to rise above hatred, to keep her heart light, and to continue loving even in the face of disappointment. This strength is not visible on the outside, but it is the very reason families heal, relationships survive, and communities grow closer. History is rich with examples of women whose compassion changed the course of lives. Think of the teachers who saw potential in struggling students and patiently nurtured them until they succeeded. Think of the caregivers who dedicate their lives to tending to the sick and elderly, giving comfort where others see only inconvenience. Think of the countless women who, in times of war, famine, or crisis, put aside their own pain to care for children, strangers, and entire communities. Their compassion became the strength that kept humanity alive when despair threatened to destroy it. Even in the smallest moments, a woman's compassion is evident. She notices when someone is silent in a crowd and gently draws them into conversation. She sees when a friend is smiling but hiding sorrow, and she quietly lends a listening ear. She gives not because she has much, but because she cannot bear to see someone else without. This simple, consistent act of caring creates ripples of hope that extend far beyond what she may ever realize. Compassion also demands courage. It is not always easy to be kind in a world that sometimes rewards selfishness. Yet a woman continues to show compassion because she knows that strength is not measured by how much we can dominate, but by how much we can uplift. Her compassion is her shield and her sword. It protects her from becoming hardened by pain, and it gives her the ability to fight back against cruelty with love. Where anger divides, compassion unites. Where hatred destroys, compassion rebuilds. The strength of a woman's compassion is eternal because it flows from the deepest part of her being, untouched by time or circumstance. It is this strength that holds families together, heals wounds that medicine cannot, and brings warmth to a world that would otherwise feel cold and unforgiving. Her compassion is her greatest legacy, and it is what keeps humanity alive. Sacrifice is one of the purest reflections of true strength, and no one embodies this more profoundly than a woman. From the earliest moments of her life, she learns to give in ways that others may never fully notice or appreciate. Her sacrifices are not always grand or dramatic. They are often quiet, invisible, and woven into the fabric of everyday life. Yet these very sacrifices hold families together, empower dreams, and shape futures. What makes them powerful is that they are rarely made for herself. They are made out of love, care, and an unwavering desire to see others rise, even if it means she must step back. Consider the mother who eats last so her children can eat first. It may seem like a small act, but it reflects an ocean of love and endurance. She sacrifices her comfort, her rest, and sometimes even her health so her children can grow strong and healthy. And when those children succeed in life, they stand on the foundation of her silent sacrifices. This is a strength so profound that it cannot be measured, for it is born out of a heart that values others more than itself. A woman's sacrifices extend beyond the home as well. In her career, she often sets aside personal ambitions so her family can thrive. In society, she gives her time and energy to causes that bring light to others, even if it brings exhaustion to her. She may sacrifice her dreams to nurture the dreams of those she loves, not because she lacks ambition, but because her vision of success is tied to the happiness of others. This ability to see beyond herself and willingly give is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. History and culture are filled with stories of women whose sacrifices shape the destiny of nations and communities. Many of them are nameless, their acts never recorded in books. But their impact is carried in the lives of those they uplifted. There are countless women who endured struggles silently so that their children could have better opportunities. There are wives who stood by their partners through failures and hardships, sacrificing their own ease for the sake of love and loyalty. There are daughters who set aside personal comforts to support their families financially or emotionally. These sacrifices are not bound by time or geography. They are eternal expressions of strength, found in every corner of the world. What is remarkable about a woman's sacrifice is that it is not forced, it is chosen. She willingly embraces difficulties so others can walk more easily. She willingly lets go of something precious so someone else can hold on to hope. That choice requires inner courage and emotional power greater than any physical strength. While others might see sacrifice as loss, she sees it as love in its purest form. And yet, even when her sacrifices go unnoticed, she continues. She does not keep a record of what she has given, nor does she demand applause. Her reward is in seeing the joy, the growth, the success of those she has nurtured through her sacrifices. That is why her strength is eternal. It does not fade when unrecognized, and it does not stop when unappreciated. It flows continuously because it is rooted in love. Resilience is the ability to rise again when life has pushed you down, and it is in this quality that a woman's eternal strength shines brightest. Life often tests her with trials, challenges, and heartbreaks, yet she possesses a quiet determination that refuses to be defeated. She bends but does not break. She falls but she does not stay down. Instead, she gathers her courage, her faith, and her inner strength to stand again, often stronger than before. Her resilience is not just about survival, it is about transformation, about turning wounds into wisdom and struggles into stepping stones. Every woman's life holds stories of resilience, whether spoken or hidden in silence. A mother who works through sleepless nights, balancing her job and home, may feel exhausted, but her determination to provide for her children keeps her moving forward. A young woman facing rejection in her career refuses to give up and instead learns, adapts, and tries again until success finds her. A widow who loses her partner yet continues to nurture her family with love shows resilience that words can barely capture. These moments reveal the unshakable spirit of women who rise above challenges with grace and dignity. What makes resilience so powerful is that it is often born from pain. Pain has the potential to crush, but in a woman's heart, it often creates fuel for growth. She does not let difficulties define her. She allows them to refine her. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every disappointment becomes a teacher, and every struggle becomes an opportunity to grow stronger. She proves to the world that resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about facing it with courage and finding the light even in the darkest moments. History is filled with women who embodied resilience in remarkable ways. From those who rebuilt their lives after wars, to those who stood against injustice, to those who broke barriers in education, politics, and science. Each story reflects how resilience can shape not only an individual's destiny, but also the future of generations to come. They remind us that resilience is not about pretending life is easy, but about acknowledging the storms and still choosing to walk through them with unwavering strength. In everyday life, too, women show resilience in countless ways. The single mother who manages her home and career with limited resources, the woman battling illness with a smile, the daughter who sacrifices her own dreams to care for her aging parents. All of them carry within their hearts the strength to endure, adapt, and continue moving forward. Their resilience is not loud or showy, but it is unshakable, steady, and inspiring. Perhaps what makes a woman's resilience eternal is her ability to inspire others through it. When she rises after falling, she gives courage to those watching her journey. When she refuses to give up, she becomes a beacon of hope for those who feel weak. Her resilience is not just her own, it is a gift to everyone around her, teaching them that no matter how difficult the road, strength can always be found within. One of the most extraordinary strengths of a woman lies in her ability to balance multiple roles with grace. In the course of a single day, she may shift from being a daughter to a mother, from a professional to a caretaker, from a leader to a friend. Each role demands something different from her, yet she manages to meet these demands without letting one diminish the other. This ability to balance is not simple. It requires patience, organization, resilience, and an incredible sense of responsibility. And yet, she does it not as a burden, but often as an act of love. Think of a working mother who wakes up early to prepare her children for school, manages her professional duties with diligence, and still returns home to give time and attention to her family. It seems almost impossible to wear so many hats in one day, but she finds a way to do it, often without complaint. Her strength lies not only in managing tasks, but in ensuring that each role is performed with care. She does not merely complete duties. She brings life, warmth, and meaning to them. This balance is what creates harmony in families, progress in workplaces, and unity in communities. Balancing roles also requires sacrifice, because often she must set aside her own desires or rest to ensure the needs of others are met. A daughter may sacrifice personal outings to care for her parents. A wife may put aside her own dreams for the success of her partner. A professional woman may work twice as hard to prove herself in a competitive environment while still fulfilling her responsibilities at home. And yet she continues because she knows that her ability to balance is the foundation upon which so many others rely. What makes this strength remarkable is the way she carries it. With calmness, with a smile, and with dedication. Even in moments of exhaustion, she finds the inner strength to keep going. Many times, her efforts go unnoticed, but that does not deter her. She understands that her contribution is not measured by applause, but by the life she enriches through her roles. Throughout history, women have proven that they are not defined by a single role. They are visionaries, leaders, caregivers, artists, innovators, and nurturers, all at once. From queens who ruled nations while caring for their people, to teachers who educated generations while raising families of their own, women have shown that balancing roles is not only possible, but can be done with brilliance and dignity. Their ability to adapt, to shift seamlessly between responsibilities, and to give their best in every situation is what makes their strength timeless. Even in today's modern world, this balancing act continues. Women are at the forefront of businesses, politics, and science, while also remaining the emotional anchors of their families. They carry dreams in one hand and responsibilities in the other, proving that they are capable of excelling in both without letting one overshadow the other. This strength is not about perfection, but about persistence, continuing to juggle, to adapt, and to give wholeheartedly. The eternal beauty of this balancing strength is that it inspires others. In the children learn responsibility by watching their mothers. Colleagues learn dedication by working alongside women who manage both home and career. Families learn patience and unity by seeing how a woman creates balance in the midst of chaos. In every way, her ability to balance roles becomes a lesson in strength, reminding us that true power lies not in doing one thing well, but in giving your best in many things, all while keeping love at the center. Faith is one of the quiet yet unshakable strengths that a woman carries within her heart. It is this faith that gives her the courage to face uncertainty, to endure pain, and to keep walking even when the path ahead seems unclear. Her faith may be in God, in goodness, in justice, or in the simple belief that tomorrow will be better than today. But whatever its form, it is the anchor that keeps her steady in the storms of life. While the world may see her smile on the outside, it is her faith on the inside that keeps her strong when everything else feels like it is falling apart. A woman's faith is often tested in the most difficult moments. She may face loss, rejection, or failure, but instead of giving in to despair, she leans on her inner belief that there is a reason, a purpose, and a lesson behind it all. This strength allows her not only to endure hardship, but also to emerge from it with wisdom and grace. She may cry in silence, but deep within, she whispers to herself that this too shall pass. That light will come after darkness, that joy will follow sorrow. It is this faith that transforms her pain into perseverance and her struggles into stories of triumph. Throughout generations, women have leaned on faith to carry them through the impossible. Mothers who waited for their sons to return from battle. Wives who prayed for their families in times of famine. Daughters who trusted in education despite resistance. All of them stood firm because their faith gave them vision beyond the present moment. They could see hope even when others saw despair. They could see strength even when others saw weakness. Their faith was not just personal. It became a pillar of hope for everyone around them. Faith also gives a woman the ability to inspire others. When she continues to believe, even when the situation seems hopeless, she teaches her children, her family, and her community to hold on and not give up. Her faith is contagious. It spreads like light in a dark room, giving courage to those who may have lost theirs. Her ability to remain calm in uncertainty reassures others that they too can endure, that they too can trust the process of life. In this way, her faith becomes not just her strength, but the strength of all those who look up to her. There is also a profound humility in a woman's faith. She does not see herself as invincible. Instead, she acknowledges her limits and turns to something higher for strength. This surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. It shows that true strength comes not from pretending to control everything, but from trusting that life will unfold in the way it is meant to. Her faith allows her to walk with confidence, not because she knows what will happen, but because she trusts that whatever happens, she will have the strength to face it. The eternal power of a woman's faith is that it never fades with age or circumstance. Whether she is young and dreaming of a brighter future, or old and reflecting on a life well lived, her faith carries her through. It is her inner compass, her guiding star, her invisible shield. And through it all, she proves that the greatest victories in life are not won by physical might or wealth, but by a heart that chooses to believe, to trust, and to hope no matter what comes her way. Leadership is often mistaken as a display of authority or dominance. But a woman's leadership reveals a much deeper truth. It is not about controlling others, but about guiding them with empathy, vision, and care. A woman's strength in leadership lies in her ability to inspire trust, to unite people in harmony, and to serve with compassion while leading with conviction. Her leadership is not loud, but it is steady. It does not rely on fear, but on respect. It is not rooted in ego, but in responsibility. This makes her leadership timeless and impactful because it touches not only the minds of people, but also their hearts. From the beginning of her journey, a woman often becomes a leader even without a title. In her home, she leads by organizing, guiding, and nurturing. In her workplace, she leads by example, showing dedication, balance, and perseverance. In her community, she becomes the one who listens, the one who understands, and the one who finds solutions where others see only problems. Her leadership flows naturally because it is not driven by the desire for recognition, but by the instinct to care and the vision to create a better tomorrow. One of the greatest strengths of a woman's leadership is her ability to combine firmness with kindness. She can make difficult decisions, yet she makes them with consideration for those who will be affected. She can hold authority, yet she exercises it with humility. She can lead people forward, yet she ensures no one is left behind. Her leadership is like a bridge. It connects, supports, and carries people to places they could not reach alone. History is filled with women whose leadership shaped nations, communities, and generations. Queens who ruled with wisdom, activists who challenged injustice, entrepreneurs who built empires, teachers who shaped young minds. All of them showed that leadership is not defined by gender, but by character. What set them apart was not just their intelligence or skill, but their ability to lead with empathy, to understand the needs of those around them, and to inspire loyalty not by force, but by love. Their leadership was transformative because It uplifted everyone, not just themselves. Even in everyday life, women display leadership that is often unrecognized, but deeply powerful. The mother who leads her children by instilling values, the wife who leads her family through difficult times with calmness, the colleague who guides her team with encouragement instead of criticism. All of these are forms of leadership that create lasting impact. Their leadership is not written in headlines, but it is written in the lives they touch and the futures they build. What makes a woman's leadership eternal is her ability to balance strength with softness. She proves that a leader does not have to be harsh to be effective. She shows that true leadership is not about standing above others, but about standing with them. She demonstrates that authority without empathy is empty, but leadership with compassion has the power to change the world. In her leadership, people find not just direction, but also inspiration, not just guidance, but also comfort, not just progress, but also unity. Her strength as a leader is not only in what she accomplishes, but in what she inspires others to accomplish. She does not simply command, she cultivates. She does not simply instruct, she empowers. She does not simply demand results, she builds people. And in doing so, she leaves behind a legacy that outlives her role, her title, and even her presence. This is the eternal strength of a woman's leadership. It endures, it uplifts, and it transforms lives for generations to come.